Have you ever wondered what goes through the mind of a challenger player while they play? And how is it these players able to effortlessly carry their teams even when they have scores that look like this? Well, in today's video, I'll take you through my thoughts step by step in a game where I face a challenge as insurmountable as this. And you'll see just how a challenger player can take over a game and carry no matter how hard their team is feeding. My name's Rogue and I played League of Legends professionally for 7 years. Now I'm a full-time content creator and coach for all ranks iron through to challenger. So if you want more information of what a coaching session with me will look like, you can find more information by following the link in the video description below. Hey everyone, so something a little bit different today. I'm actually doing a review on one of my own games where I played Kled Top vs Aatrox just yesterday. Had a pretty good game, and I thought it was pretty interesting to break down everything that was going through my mind when I played this game. So, as I mentioned, Kled Top vs Aatrox, it's actually a really good matchup for Kled. I have healing card on my queue, and I'm actually can contest him pretty well early. There's one big thing going to the game that was a choice that I made. First one is bone plating. I can pick and choose my engages around this bone plating cooldown, giving me good chances to fight. And the other one is Ignite. And Ignite's the really important one here. Without Ignite, this matchup is pretty contested. He actually has more damage to creeps because he can use his Q to AoE the wave and secure push. But with Ignite, it kind of tips that matchup level 1, meaning I have enough kill threat that I should be able to secure the level 2 first, which is my main objective. But anyway, we go for a little bit of a cheesy invade, end up getting a kill, which is nice. Doesn't go over to me, so the kill doesn't really contribute anything. And I thought about recalling for a pot here before realizing that I would be late to lane. And this is really important that I didn't base because remember why I took Ignite? I took Ignite because I wanted to get push on the first wave. And if I'd recalled, Aatrox would get to wave first and take push. And it's really bad to lose push when you have Ignite. If I end up taking a bad trade, I'm not going to get a recall in. My only way to recall is to crash a wave. So getting that push and securing that first recall really has to be my main advantage here. So when the wave comes in, just as I said, I start putting some damage on the creeps because Aatrox gives me the space to. And after here, he uses his Q a bit, but I have bone plating, which is nice. And then I go for a little bit of a trade. And at this point, I feel pretty secure about the fact that I'm going to get level 2 before him. I've already got a big damage bonus on the creeps compared to him. So I'm really happy with these kind of trades because I know that eventually on the wave crash, this damage is just temporary and I get a recall anyway. So yeah, hit level 2. Aatrox is a bit far up, so we take a good trade. Burn his flash. Awesome. And I'm really happy with these. As I said, the reason I took Ignite is to play aggressive like this and to guarantee I'm going to get this wave crash eventually. Alright, so going forward just a moment, we have the final wave before the wave crash. And you're going to notice something a little bit different here. I am non-stop autoing, non-stop damage on all of the minions. I want to ensure that I get level 3 fast. Now, this game's not that dangerous, but if we just check all the vision and we see where their jungler is, he's cleared his bot side, and now it's the third wave, he's actually on top side. And if he wanted to do something like do 3 camps, skip everything to gank top, this would be the time he's arriving. So I want to make sure to quickly kill the melee creeps and get level 3, so that if the gank comes, I have a chance to win 2v1 inside of my wave with the level 3. I also just want to get out of this danger that I'm in and crash the wave as fast as possible because, again, my intention here, I really need this recall. Now, one really important thing and why this was my objective to take push is really simple. All of that damage I put into Aatrox is permanent, while I'm just going to recall and get an item advantage and some fresh pots if I want them. But the big thing is after the wave crash, this wave will always bounce back. This happens in every single lane. It will naturally come back. Now, because Aatrox took some bad trades and I recalled for an item advantage, this is a freeze now. The only difference between a slow push and a freeze is the fact that Aatrox isn't strong enough to crash it because I have an item advantage and he has no flash. Now, you're going to notice something very subtle here that is like a very defining moment in this lane. So I come back, Aatrox has a massive wave and level 4 versus 3. And so at this moment, if he plays aggressive, his minion and his level lead outweigh the advantage of my longsword. So he has to play aggressive right now and prevent me trimming this wave. Because once I trim the wave, so he has less minions, and I get level 4, he will never farm again. And in just a moment, we're going to see it happen. Junglers are here for a tussle. Lane's over. The fact that Aatrox let me get level 4, now I just have a freeze and he can't farm. This is something you can repeat on top lane, you can repeat it on bot lane, you can repeat it on mid. Something simple like a 3-wave crash, get really good trades, and then get that cheetah recall, turns that slow push the enemy would have into a freeze because they're low. Now, Aatrox gets 5, so it gives him another opportunity to play strong, but I've communicated well with my jungler, and I told him, Aatrox no flash, I've got a freeze, camp his ass. So sadly I missed the hook, but either way, we get the kill. Good stuff. And now this actually puts me in a really awkward position. Now, freezes are great, but the reward for the kill when you get a freeze isn't amazing, right? Now I'm stuck on half HP with 750 gold, and my jungler actually asked me here, do you want me to help you push this in? And I actually said no, right? Most people would say yes because I really need the recall, but my logic was, if he helps me push, he has to take all of this XP and the next wave, and I'm really going to lose out on XP. So I went with like a different logic here. My logic was to start a slow push, and just like Aatrox, hopefully when he comes back to lane, my minion advantage and my level advantage will outweigh his HP advantage and item advantage from getting the extra recall. So you see me doing exactly that. I tell my jungler to go away, and I pray that I can make this work. So I start this slow push. And one little thing here, I intend to crash the next wave, so I make sure here the last minion dies just as the next wave arrives. So here we go, I kill the last minion. My wave doesn't walk forward at all. And then now that the next wave's here, and it's the one I intend to crash, I hit as hard as I can. And Aatrox should fight me right now. He needs to use this moment where he's the same level as me to try and prevent me crashing this wave and stop my recall. Because the moment I get level 6 and I get my recall, here we go, now that I'm 6, he can't prevent me crashing this wave. So now I get a free recall. If he tried to hold this, I could either just walk forward and stop him, but in all honesty, I'm okay with him freezing now. Now this is a big difference. I made a video just a day or two ago about the 5:30 wave timer, how everything before that, the game moves a lot slower, and after that, it marks a big transition. So if you're freezing past that 5:30 timer, and I come back to lane with 2,000 gold worth of stats and a Kled ult, this is not a freeze. This is actually a stacked wave, and because I'm level 6, I'm strong enough to dive him on it. Right? If Aatrox keeps this as a freeze, walking out of base, I'll just yell to my Talia, I'll yell to my Scion, I'll tell them that Aatrox has stacked a wave for us to dive him on, and we can go for a really easy tower dive on that stacked wave. But he actually turns the push, and now that the wave's coming back to me, I realized I don't have to be here until the wave hits the tower, so I look to translate my lead a bit. So I come mid, look to just apply some pressure, take some vision back, look for an ult on Lux or potentially a fighter dragon if it kicks off, but nothing happens, so I just come back top. Nice. Now, this moment is actually really important. I'm actually doing something intentionally here, killing the wave as slowly as I can. Right? Most people would come out here with their T-Mat and their Kled Q, and they would just Q auto the front line and just one-shot the wave. Now, the reason I don't do this is really simple. If you look at the game time, it's 1 minute till dragon. So what I want to happen is I want my next wave to get caught on the minions. So instead of the wave settling here, it settles closer to my tower. That way I can stack the wave up until 8 minutes, and then either do a tower dive or a herald on spawn with my jungler. So this is a big thing with early laning. Most of the time when a wave crashes, you actually do want to kill it as slow as you can. It doesn't work out too well here because of my teammat, but it buys me a little bit more space, which is never bad. Now, you can see I do exactly as I said. I'm just last hitting. I want to stack this wave up. I want to make more advantages. I want to stack this wave up with another one so that I get level 7 because I'm close to 7. I make the wave bigger so that on that big stacked wave, we either get a big tower dive off with a level advantage and a ton of minions to take tower damage, or we just get a really free herald or perhaps a red buff invade, which is just about to spawn. And just as early levels, same thing. At this moment, I know that I have a wave crash coming, and these minions aren't going away, and if Aatrox wants to fight me right now, then if he loses enough HP and I can burn cooldowns like his ult and his flash, it's going to make it really easy to dive him. Even my jungler is here, so I'm really happy taking these fights, which is, again, a massive mistake from him to take these kind of trades. Even if they look good for him, I could just recall on that wave if I want to, but perfectly, 8 minutes on spawn, Aatrox is stuck on the tower of the big wave, and we take a free Herald. I thought about taking this Herald here, but I couldn't be bothered. So I just gave it to my jungler and I told him to come back top with it. And he does exactly that. Here we go. We turn the push. My Sion gets a really nice Q off. And we get that dive on that big wave. And because we have the Heralds, you'll see massive reward. This is a pretty funny moment. I don't realize that I have T-Mat. A little bit of trolling here. You'll see. Trying to clear the wave, I forgot about my T-Mat and I kind of pull dagger and die. It happens to all of us, guys. Doesn't matter what rank you are. You always have some oopsies. Awesome. And so off base, come back to lane, and Aatrox has a wave going into my tower, which we saw this moment just a second ago. At about 7 minutes, we had a wave go into my tower, and I did a similar thing. I stacked it for a few waves in order to take Herald. Now that the tower's low and I'm even further ahead, I'm looking to do a similar thing, to start a slow push. So what you'll notice here is I'm actually killing the caster minions. I don't want to freeze anymore. Again, it's past that 5:30 timer. There are way bigger plays available to me than a freeze. Aatrox kind of does some inting, so if he wants to give me a free kill, he can. But before I knew he was going to feed, my intention's simple. I want to start a slow push. I'm going to let the cannon die. I'm probably going to leave the 3 melee minions alive just so the wave gets caught. I'm going to kill the caster creeps of the next wave and then start a big slow push. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. And I know that in about a minute or two, I'm going to have a level 9 versus level 8, a huge wave, call my team, go for a tower dive. But if Aatrox just wants to donate me the kills now, I'm not going to object. And since he's dead, I'll just push it straight in, damage on the tower, a little bit of a proxy. And then everyone in the squad's here. Oh, works out fine, and we get that tower. Really good. Cool. So, tower 1145 is amazing. The problem I have with this game is really simple. My mid lane is 0-3, and my bot lane is 0-2. Which is a really common thing you're probably going to get in solo queue. You win lane and do well, but don't translate your lead, and if your lanes look like this, it's going to go bad. I'm in kind of a race against time. So this part here is a little bit troll. What I actually want to do is get my lead out of my own lane. I'm just having a bit of fun here, and I thought it'd be fun to kill him one more time, which worked, but ultimately this kill is pointless. This is a big part that I see a lot of my students fall over on, is they keep their lead in a bubble, and they don't translate it to other places. So by taking this kill, I do exactly that. I keep my lead in that bubble for a little while longer. These kills are nice, but they're kind of pointless. What I really need to do is get my lead into mid and bot. Now, the best way to do that is to take top tower, and now I have heaps of time to roam. But if I wasn't able to get dives off and Herald wasn't up to take, I could just be ulting mid lane or something. But now, I don't have to be top lane for a really long time because the lane is so long. I have free reign to roam around, so instantly run mid, take a kill on Lux, and start hitting the tower. And this is a really important part. There's a huge wave coming in top, and I'm not about to let 0-6 Aatrox start taking tower plates on a wave this big, and so someone has to go back and catch it. Now, I have 7 kills. I don't want to be stuck in a side lane and leave my team alone for 45 seconds just to catch this wave and push it out. So I actually tell my Talia to go top lane instead. We would rather someone 0-3 and useless be in the side lane catching a wave like this, while someone really strong is mid. And this is a big part once you get to this 14-minute timer and plates fall. You just want your strongest member mid. Most of the time that is your bot lane, because they have a range advantage and they're a bit safer and there's more people. But in a game like this, where I'm the only fed member, we want me mid. Right? Being mid gets you more involved in the game and gives you more control of the map, since you can go either top or bot with your priority. And instantly I do that. I run bot, and that bot lane, which was such a big problem, well, 7 kill Kled rocks up, and now I just start killing everyone. And at the moment of this fight, with a cheeky 2v4 with my Sion, which, props to him, playing through your strong lane was a really good idea, because it unlocked me and I got a very big advantage. And now we're just 14 minutes into the game, and very successfully, my lead has transferred. Not only have I played my own lane early, pre-535 with a freeze to get a lead, I then post-535 started playing aggressively in order to get Herald and to get tower and to convert my lead out of my own lane. And then ultimately when I did get my tower, I spent as much time active on the map with my team, getting into mid, going to those weaker places, and dealing with them. And because I did this all quickly, I'm strong enough to deal with fed enemies before they get out of hand. So really good game overall, and if we just check the gold, it's astronomical. 2 towers of solo plates and a bunch of map impacts, and 8.6k gold of 15 minutes. Pretty happy with that one. If you liked the video, remember to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.